Come on in, have a seat, and we are live from East Providence, Rhode Island. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the preview of WWE's Backlash. My name is Michael Fletcher, and as always, I am with my fellow colleagues, Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. I did send an invite to Dee Dee Woodson. I don't know if she's going to be here tonight or not. Hopefully she is, but if she does join us, great. If she doesn't, then we'll definitely see her tomorrow night for the recap. However, we got a lot to decipher. Not many matches, only 6 official fights on the card. Well, 7 if you add the first fight that we're going to get into, guys. So we're just going to do it right here, right now. We're going to start it off with the first fight of the night. It's going to be the play-in fight. Basically, what happened, if you didn't see, the WWE Smackdown Tag Team Championship Tournament the final match was supposed to happen. Rhino and Heath Slater has already qualified for the final fight. They are going to be at the end. The other team was supposed to be American Alphas. However, due to an injury by American Alpha member Chad Gable, he suffered a sprain and he will not compete at Backlash. Therefore, what WWE has decided, what Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon has decided, was the 2 losing teams in the semifinal fight, which were the Usos and the Hype Bros, will now get a second chance, a play-in fight, and the winner will fight later that night against Rhino and Heath Slater to determine the first ever the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. With that said, this is going to be my prediction. I think the Usos are going to go through. Slater and Rhino will fight the Usos in the final. And I believe Heath Slater and Rhino will win the WWE Smackdown Tag Team Champions. I think they're going to be the champions. I think the culmination is going to happen where Heath Slater will finally get that SmackDown contract. Said, I got the Usos winning the play-in fight, but ultimately I got Heath Slater and Rhino winning the tag titles. I give it to you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Michael Fletcher. And hello, friends. Welcome to our WWE Backlash Preview. Anthony Florio here with you. And, a very exciting night, to say the very least. Well, so much for this being a throwaway week in college football. My goodness. But that's all I can say. I've been all over the place with it. But putting that aside for the moment, I got the Usos winning that play-in match as well against the Hype Bros. I mean, the heel turn really came at a great time. I mean, the fans were not behind them anyway. I mean, they had no choice, and I'm glad that they finally pulled the trigger on it. And now if they can only do that with their cousin, then we'd be in business. But who knows what happens with that. But as far as the Usos against Slater and Rhino go, I know Fletch is rooting for that feel-good moment for Slater and Rhino to win the belts. It would be a double win for Fletch. I mean, because I know how much Fletch loves the Heath Slater storyline, even though I think it's a little bit ridiculous and mundane myself, if I'm being quite honest, a little bit. It's a little campy comedy-ish, if I'm being honest. And, of course, Fletch, the love affair he's had with Rhino ever since his days in ECW, being the ECW mark that he is. And it'd be a great story for Rhino to win a championship, especially at this stage of his career, I love feel-good moments. You know me. I love feel-good moments. I really, really do. But I'm sorry. I don't see that happening. I have the Usos ultimately winning the titles. I really don't know how long WWE can keep this up with Heath Slater, but to some, it's been entertaining television, while for some others like me, I've considered it, a little bit ridiculous and stupid. But the only way you can give any big payoff to this story is to have Slater lose at the end. He is the lovable guy. Rhino has been great in his role too. However, there is a bigger story at hand with the Usos and American Alpha. As much as I love feel-good moments, and I know Fletcher and everybody would love to see Slater get the win, and I'm sure the crowd would go nuts for it too, this is about the Usos cementing their turn and staking their place in the tag team division. Slater could always get a shorter title run later because the fans will still be behind him. Having Alpha and Usos fighting over the belts is a storyline that can carry you for a while, and you really need to go with that. Just being the man who tells it like it is here, like my idol Jesse the Body Ventura always would say. So I'm sorry, Fletch. I gotta go against you here respectfully. Winners and first ever inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, and then from there they're gonna start a feud with American Alpha. And you heard it here first. They're gonna meet for the titles at No Mercy on October 9 at the Arco Arena in Sacramento. And I think on that night, the American Alphas are going to win the titles, and then we're going to have a little bit of a hot potato between the Usos and American Alpha. Should make for some very compelling TV, if I do say so myself. So, with that being said, Phenom, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on the play-in match with the Usos against the Hype Bros, and then ultimately who you like against Slater and Rhino to win the inaugural SmackDown Tag Belts?
Yes, hello friends, this is the Phenom Mike Bullock here for our Backlash preview edition of the Wrestling Forum. I also have the Usos winning the play-in match against the Hype Brothers, and I do agree. I mean, I like how they finally turned the Usos into a heel. I mean, it's about time. I mean, like you said, I mean, at the beginning, the Usos were over with the crowd, but lately, the fans haven't been behind them, and it was about time that they turned the Usos heel, and I also agree that they have to do the same thing with Roman Reigns, but we'll wait and see how that goes. But yeah, I got the Usos going over, and as far as who becomes the first ever SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, I'm sorry, Fletch, I'm gonna have to disagree with you as well. I mean, I know you like feel-good stories. I like it too, but to be quite honest, this whole Heath Slater thing, it's corny, it's ridiculous, and I hate to say it, it's at the point of go away, because we've all said that Heath Slater is the biggest done enhancement talent out there, and I mean, do people want to see him get a SmackDown contract or any contract? Some do, but with him being a done enhancement talent, I'd say no. I mean, he doesn't deserve any kind of contract, and I mean, I also love Rhino, but and want to see him get one more run with some kind of a title, but I just don't see it happening. Love feel-good stories, but it ain't gonna happen. To me, it makes more sense to have the Usos as the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, so that way when Chad Gable is healthy and ready to come back, you could have the American Alpha feud with the Usos over the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship, and I do agree it will culminate at No Mercy. So Usos win the play-in match, and they also become your first ever SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. So that being said, Fletch, let's move on to the next match we'll talk about.
All right, guys, I just want to break in just momentarily, guys. UFC 203 is going on right now, and we are now at the point where CM Punk is about to make his UFC debut. We will keep you posted on the fight during the night. Punk is on his way out to the octagon right now. Like I said, we'll keep you posted if we will let you know any details if as they become available. All right. So right now, let's switch gears and let's talk about the next fight of the night, which is Randy Orton going one-on-one against Bray Wyatt. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
Outside of the main event, this is the fight I'm looking forward to the most right here. I mean, this is going to be one hell of a match. I mean, let's look at it. I mean, oof, man. I know there are some who don't think this is going to be a good match, but I'm sorry. This is I'm one of those guys who actually is looking forward to it. This is round one of an odyssey that takes us to Hell in a Cell. I honestly believe it. I don't mind that Bray and Randy are skirmishing. It makes sense in that it gives them a prominent feud without a title involved. It's got intrigue in that both men really need to collect some wins. Orton's fresh off of getting the what beat out of him by Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And of course, they're going to have a rematch, Orton and Lesnar, in a few weeks at a live event in Chicago. Meanwhile, Bray rarely fights and mostly loses when he does. I really love Bray's character. I think he's got the best entrance in the business with the Fireflies. I think his ring work also gets seriously underrated. Yet all he does is spin his wheels. The good news for him is I think there's a chance he could actually get a win here. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, both men really need the win here. I mean, aside from this, I mean, who do you go with? I mean, this is really tough. It really, really is tough, if I'm going to be real honest with you. I mean, I don't envy the guy. I don't envy the creative team who has to book this. I really don't, because it's so hard. I mean, do you give Orton that win back from SummerSlam? Get Orton back on track after getting the stuffing beat out of him by Lesnar? Or do you finally give Bray Wyatt a relevant win? I honestly cannot remember the last time he won a meaningful match on pay-per-view. It's been forever and a day that I can think of. So I would love to see Bray Wyatt actually go over and get the win here. And then, like I said, I think it could ultimately lead to but I don't think Hell in a Cell is gonna. I think Hell in a Cell is a Raw exclusive event. I don't think that's going to be a SmackDown event. Even though I would love to see these two in there, but I don't see it happening. But it could happen, but I don't think so. But I think this is going to lead into something at No Mercy. I mean, it doesn't matter who wins. This feud's going to be far from over, no matter what. I think it's going to be the second best fight of the night, if I'm being real honest. I'm thinking this is going to get between 3.5 and 4 stars, and I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to actually go with Bray Wyatt for the win here. I mean, I want to see Bray Wyatt get a nice, meaningful win on pay-per-view. I mean, Orton's already done enough. He's proven enough. But if we're going to take Bray Wyatt seriously, he needs to start racking up the big-time, high-profile wins. And it doesn't get any more high-profile than Randy Orton, and I think he can do it. So I'm going to take a chance here, and I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt for the win. And what I think will be the second best fight of the night on my scorecard. So, and aside from the main event, it's my number 2 fight that I'm looking the most forward to. So, give me Bray Wyatt, the Eater of the Worlds. Follow the buzzards. Michael Bullock, what says you?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this could be a solid match here, even though, like you said, there are probably some out there who are not really looking forward to this, but I'm actually looking forward to it. And people are going to be wondering, how's Randy Orton going to bounce back after getting the snot beat out of him by Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam? So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And like you said, with Bray Wyatt, he needs a big time win, because I certainly can't remember a time where Bray Wyatt actually got a win. But yeah, I can't even remember the last time. Yeah, so and like you said, I don't envy the WWE creative team. Who do you go with? Do you give the win back to Randy Orton, or do you give it to Bray Wyatt? And I'll be quite honest, I gotta go with Bray Wyatt here. And Randy Orton, like you said, he's proven enough. And to me, Bray Wyatt needs this win more than Randy Orton. So I actually am going to go with Bray Wyatt as well. And as he would like to say, follow the buzzards. Fletcher, who do you got? Are you following the buzzards? Or are you going with the Viper?
This is probably going to be the toughest call of the night. I think we all can agree. This is going to be a very tough match to predict. We don't know how this is going to play out. All I know is one thing is for sure. This is going to be a very enjoyable match. I think it's going to be very exciting, to say the very least. But at the end of the day, it's basically who's really ready for this battle and who's really ready for, all this other stuff. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's basically, Bray Wyatt versus and Randy Orton, and we kind of just have to see and think about how this is going to play out. And at the end of the day, who knows how this will come out. It's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a compelling matchup, to say the very least. But I have to say that I do agree with you guys for the most part that Bray probably needs the victory more because because of the fact that if he does win this fight, he probably puts himself in line for a WWE World Title fight. At the end of the day, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But there's nothing more to say about it. It is what it is, and we'll go on from there. And that is it. We'll go, and that will be that. I actually do have some breaking news, guys. This did not even last long. CM Punk has tapped out to Mickey Gall at 1 minute 45 seconds of the very first round. Mickey Gall has defeated CM Punk by submission via a rear naked choke. We will give you more details, or we'll talk about that a little bit later on. We're going to continue our pay-per-view preview, and we're going to go into the next fight, which is for the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz puts the title on the line against Dolph Ziggler. You lead off.
All right. Yeah, this is to me, I think this should be a good match as well. Maybe I'll probably say third best fight of the night, if I'm going to be quite honest. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing started, of course, with when The Miz, of course, he went on Talking Smack, and wow, he went on an awesome rant, if I'm going to be quite honest here. I mean, he basically tore Daniel Bryan to shreds and basically tore the WWE Universe to shreds of how the way he's been treated and how he's being called a coward and all that. And boy, I mean, that was probably one of the best rants I've ever seen, and probably one of the best promos from the Miz that I've seen. And basically, then the following week he went on SmackDown and basically didn't back off from his rant, and Dolph Ziggler basically came out and said, you know what? Why don't you and I go face to face? No referee, no title. Let's do this right now. And what does The Miz do? Well, he basically just takes his ball and goes home. And once again, is called a coward. So, and then he had another opportunity, and when the Intercontinental title was in the ring, but The Miz is like, no, I'm going to have my wife, Maryse, go grab the title for me. Once again, basically acting like a chicken. So this is going to be an interesting match, but it seems like WWE has been really taking The Miz seriously as of late. And I mean, nothing against Dolph Ziggler and what he's done lately. I got to go with The Miz here, and I think he's going to continue his never-ending Intercontinental Championship tour, and I think it's going to continue on. And then what happens after that? Who's going to be next in line for it? We'll definitely have to wait and see. But Either way, I got The Miz retaining the Intercontinental Championship. So, Fletcher, it's yours.
Yeah, I don't see how The Miz loses this belt. Yeah, I kind of feel like, they're gonna want to keep him as a legitimate champion and everything else. But I think he's gonna cheat to win. I think he's gonna use Maurice. He's gonna use any type of way to win this fight. As a matter of fact, I would even go as far to say I would not be shocked if we see Dolph Ziggler win the fight, but probably win like by DQ or by count out to further the storyline. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say Dolph Ziggler wins. However, not going to win the belt. I could see this being like a count out victory, where Ziggler will probably get another shot at the belt, at No Mercy. Then maybe we might have a title change then. But I kind of feel like they're going to prolong this storyline a little while longer. So I say Ziggler wins, but does not walk away title. Either it's going to end by DQ or it's going to end by count out. But I do have Ziggler winning. Florio, I give it to you.
Another tough one to call here. It's definitely going to be my third best fight of the night here. I think this is going to be somewhere between 3 and 3.5 stars. It's not going to be anywhere near their 5-star match they had on main event, 4 years ago. But yeah, I mean, that whole talking smack thing with the Miz, going on, Daniel Bryan, I mean, that was unbelievable. I mean, that was Miz's personal best work ever, if I'm going to be real honest with you. I mean, that was wow. That's all I can say. That was un fuego fantastico. That's all I can say on that. And who says they? I mean, I've been reading a lot of the previews I've been reading. I saw this one preview said that he thinks there's a possibility Daniel Bryan could get involved and try to stack the odds against the Miz. I don't know. Abuse the power a little bit, but I don't really see that happening, if I'm being honest. And I do see it being a good match. I mean, Dolph Ziggler, coming off of that coming off of a WWE World Title matchup with Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam, coming up short. And although we've seen this match quite a few times before, having a renewed Dolph Ziggler probably doesn't change that. I still can't find myself believing in Dolph in pretty much any match he's in now. Though it would be really hard to see Ziggler lose in 2 title matches in a row, I honestly believe that The Miz has been great in this run. You really shouldn't lose the belt until you have a star you want to make with The Miz. I can understand that you also need to keep Dolph viable, but is getting another Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship run really going to make people change their minds about Dolph Ziggler at this point here? But Miz should and will retain. So with that being said, winner and still Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, The Miz. So with that said, let's move on to I believe our 6-pack challenge for the inaugural SmackDown Women's Championship.
History will be made tomorrow night. A 6-pack challenge, elimination style, to determine the first ever WWE Smackdown Women's Champion. The participants in this match are Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Natalya, and Nikki Bella. This is going to be an interesting fight. This is going to be an interesting dynamic because there's so many interchangeable parts. Now, right off of the gates, everybody's thinking to lose. Nikki is back. She got back from a neck injury. She's probably going to be the queen of the women's division because they need the big belt on her, plus, politics and whatnot. Understandable, and I get that. I mean, you could give it to Natalya. I mean, she's the quote-unquote the mother hen of the women's division, and it would be a great moment for her if she becomes the women's champion on SmackDown, because I think we all can agree with that. Naomi just got back, new gimmick, new attitude. We like it. I think she would be great. I know Anthony was very high on Naomi when she first started. Alexa Bliss and Carmella are brand new. I don't think they're going to win the belt. It would be stunning if they did. I don't think that's going to happen. But my pick to win it all and become the champion is the last kicker. The fiery redhead from Dublin, Ireland. I'm calling for Becky Lynch to win it. The reason why, the number one overall pick when it came to the women on SmackDown, she was their top pick, and it really looked like Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan the deck or put a lot of emphasis that this was going to be the girl, that she was going to be the catalyst, the flag bearer of the entire women's division. And they were going to, I really believe that because she was the number one pick, even though I think Nikki Bella would be the prime choice, Nikki Bella is not going to be a full-time wrestler. She's only going to be on a part-time basis. That means she's not going to be doing house shows. She only is going to be doing, TV and pay-per-views, where Becky's going to be running the entire gambit. And if you want to put the title up every night, you need a full-time wrestler. I believe in my heart of hearts, Becky Lynch is that girl. Her road, her backstory is amazing. And if you really embrace her, I think the WWE Universe has embraced Becky Lynch. She is the most over of all the women on the SmackDown roster. I think it would be a great move if WWE puts her over the top and make Becky Lynch and the inaugural SmackDown Women's Champion. I think it's going to come down to her and Natalya at the end, because I think they're going to gun for Nikki right out of the gate, eliminate her early. I believe at the end it will be Becky and Natalya, the two that was really kind of the first major rivalry in the SmackDown Women's Division. I think they're going to be the final two, and I got Becky Lynch walking out belt. History will be made when Becky Lynch wins the gold. That's just my personal opinion. Anthony Florio, what says you?
Oh man, I'd like to see that too myself. I mean, Becky Lynch has been, so close on so many occasions. She had those couple of matches with Charlotte earlier in the year for the Women's Championship, and then of course WrestleMania, that unbelievable triple threat with her, Charlotte, and Sasha, and all that. She hasn't really had a sniff of it since, and she's got a chance to finally break through and finally, shatter that glass ceiling rather, and grab that brass ring. But I don't know, man. Would I like to see her win it? Absolutely. She deserves it. Absolutely deserves it. But I don't know, man. My gut is telling me otherwise. I got to be honest. They've done some solid work fleshing out this division. The women have gotten airtime, and they've done well with it. Yes, like Michael Fletcher said, yes, I am partial to Naomi. She has been trapped in the women's division mid-card seemingly forever. You could tell a feel-good story around her winning her first belt, though I doubt it will happen. Becky is the heir apparent, but I suspect they'll tease out her eventual climb to the top of the mountain. Natalya's a pro, but she seems to be cast as a worker rather than the marquee attraction. And as much as I love Alexa Bliss, unfortunately, in this field, she is the weakest link here. I'm still waiting for her to be more than a generic mean girl. Carmella has been a pleasant surprise since her WWE debut. She is a good pick for an upset winner. Yet I'll be mildly shocked if anyone other than Nikki Bella comes away victorious from this encounter. She's got her new reality show launching to, the Total Bellas, which starts on October 5. And then add in the doctors told her she'd never wrestle again storyline. and it's got to be in the bag for Nikki Bella. I think it's going to come down to Nikki Bella and Carmella in the very end. And in the very end, I got to go. I got to pull the trigger on it. Nikki Bella is my pick. Nikki Bella is going to win this match, and Nikki Bella is going to become the inaugural SmackDown Women's Champion. Michael Bullock, of course, we remember, on Cerebral Smack Talk over the last few weeks. I remember a few weeks ago on the Cerebral Smack Talk, Bullock, you made a bold prediction. I think, or it might have been during one of our chats, one of our private chats. You went on the record and said that Carmella was going to come out of this as the brand new SmackDown Women's Champion. Do you still feel that way? And if so, why do you feel that way? Michael Bullock, you're up.
Do I still feel that way? I'm going to say right now, yes, I still feel that way. I think Carmella is going to come out the new SmackDown Women's Champion. And the reason why is because I think WWE is really taking her seriously. And I think making her as a heel, I think is doing her pretty well. I mean, look what happened when she jumped Nikki Bella before their match, and then during Talking Smack, when she came out of nowhere and attacked her during Talking Smack, and this past Tuesday on SmackDown Live, she got the win in the 6 women tag team match, and I think, judging from all that, from what I've seen, I think it makes me believe that Carmella is going to come out as the new SmackDown Women's Champion. I mean, no disrespect to Becky Lynch or Naomi or Natalya or the others, but there's just something about Carmella that makes me believe that she's going to come out as the SmackDown Women's Champion. After what I've seen, I still think that's going to be the case. So your winner and the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion is Carmella. Fletcher, let's move on.
Gentlemen, it's main event time for the WWE World Title, the champion, Dean Ambrose, versus #1 contender, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend.
This, to me, is the easiest match to call. I have absolutely no qualms about this one whatsoever. But before I give you that, I got to give you my liner notes. You know that. First, it's time for me to go professor mode on all you wonderful folks here. In the illustrious history of the Backlash event, first one being in 1999, right here in our neck of the woods of Providence, Rhode Island at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. And then, of course, the last one here in 2009, also at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence. I believe the WWE Championship, or whatever you want to call it, WWE Championship, Undisputed Championship, WWE World Heavyweight Championship, WWE World Championship, doesn't matter. Whatever you want to call it, the WWE World Championship has been defended at this event, all but, I believe, 2 of the Backlash in the history of the Backlash event. 2004 and 2005 with the exception, because those were Raw exclusive events and they had the big gold belt of the World Heavyweight Championship. Watching some of these Backlashes back recently, out of all the years that the WWE Championship has been defended at Backlash, how many times has the championship changed hands at this event? Answer, 3. That's it. It's only changed hands on 3 occasions at this very event. Actually, correction, 4 times. 4 times. It's changed hands. We've seen the WWE title change hands at this event 4 times. In the year 2000, The Rock won the title from Triple H in an amazing match. Of course, with a little help from Stone Cold Steve Austin. 2002, one of the greatest comeback stories of all time, when Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, defeated Triple H. Yes, he had a little help from The Undertaker, but nonetheless, Hogan walked out of Kansas City in 2002 with the undisputed World Wrestling Federation Championship. And then you'd have to wait all the way until 2008 when Triple H won a fatal four-way elimination match that involved Randy Orton, John Cena, and JBL in Baltimore, and Triple H became WWE champion one more time. And the last time it happened, of course, the very last Backlash event, Michael Fletcher, you should know, you were there. Your boy, Randy Orton, in that TNA-esque six-man tag team match with his legacy against Triple H, Dave Bautista, and Shane McMahon. Randy Orton punk kicks Triple H's head off. Randy Orton walks out of right here in Providence with the WWE Championship. So it has happened on 4 occasions. That bodes well for the phenomenal one. I don't think anybody has been on more of a roll in WWE right now than one phenomenal AJ Styles. I mean, look what he's done this year. I mean, he made his debut at the Royal Rumble as the number 3 entrant. Lasts nearly half an hour. Gets not one, but 2 opportunities at this very same title earlier in the year at Payback and Extreme Rules, only to come up short on both occasions against Roman Reigns. Is the third time going to be the charm when he goes up against the lunatic fringe Dean Ambrose, who's coming up on 3 months now as champion since cashing in Money in the Bank on Seth Rollins? That's tough to call. I mean, for some people, it's tough to call. Not for me. For some, it's a gut-heart situation. For some people, their gut's telling them to go with Dean Ambrose to successfully defend, while others are going to listen to their heart and go with the phenomenal one to finally break through and win the title. Which side of the fence am I on? I'm on the heart side. I don't have any doubts about this one whatsoever. AJ Styles is walking out of Richmond, Virginia tomorrow night as your brand new WWE World Champion. I feel it in my bones. I really do. I mean, he came close 2 other times against Roman Reigns. I think this is it. I think he's going to get strapped here. I mean, Ambrose has had a great run. He has. I mean, would I be surprised if Ambrose won? No. No, indeed not. But in what I am considering the fight of the night, this will be the fight of the night, no question about it. I really don't think it's going to be a 5-star classic. I could see this being maybe 4.25 to 4.5. AJ Styles, of course, 2 victories over John Cena. Let's not forget about that. The first one, very controversial, of course, because he had help from Anderson and Gallows at Money in the Bank. And that ended up being a 4.5-star match, killing what would have been a 5-star classic otherwise. And then SummerSlam, we got the 5-star classic we were craving against John Cena. And as of right now, that's my match of the year in 2016 so far. This one will be a match of the year candidate, but I just don't think it will be that 5-star match that we saw with Cena last month, or I should say a few weeks ago. But nonetheless, I want you guys to put me on the record for this one. Book it. The phenomenal AJ Styles is walking out of Backlash, your winner and new WWE World Champion. Book it. Throw it up Fortune 4 style and throw it up Bullet Club style, because AJ is packing the gold tomorrow night. Michael Bullock, how do you feel about it? Are we going to see a new champion, or do you think the Lunatic Fringe is going to somehow, some way keep his 3-month run running?
Man, oh man. I mean, it's tough to decide. I mean, Dean Ambrose has had a pretty good run as the WWE World Champion, but nobody has been on an absolute roll more than AJ Styles. I mean, 2 wins over John Cena. course. Yeah, I mean, the one at Money in the Bank. I mean, he had some help from Gallows and Anderson, but he but he got the win at SummerSlam over Cena on his own, and you saw that he what he did to Dean Ambrose this past Tuesday night on SmackDown Live, and with the role he's been on, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm going with the phenomenal AJ Styles to finally win and become your new WWE World Champion. I mean, like you said, he's been close on two different occasions, but it ended up on the short stick because of Roman Reigns. But third time is going to be the charm for the phenomenal AJ Styles. He will finally realize his dream and become WWE World Champion. Fletch, it's yours.
Undoubtedly, this is going to be a very exciting match, a very exciting fight, and a lot of people believe that maybe this is the night where a new champion is crowned. I'm with you guys as well. I'm going with AJ Styles to win the title as well. I'm definitely in full agreement with you guys. And you know what? All right. So, patience, guys. What are you feeling about this pay-per-view? So, Michael Bullock, you lead off, then toss it to Anthony, and then I'll finish it off, and we'll wrap it for the night.
All right. I mean, I think this could be a solid Backlash pay-per-view. I mean, you do have what I think is going to be the fight of the night with AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose for the WWE World Title, and you also have what I think should be a good six-pack challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship. A solid match with Dolph Ziggler and the Miz, and looking forward to see what happens with the SmackDown, the culmination of the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. So, yeah, I mean, so I think it could be a solid pay-per-view. I mean, it won't be anything special. I'm gonna go somewhere between 7 to 8 out of 10 when it comes to this first ever SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view, and all I can say is it's good to finally see Mauro Ranallo on it. I mean, yeah, we did get to see him call matches for SmackDown Live at SummerSlam, but to him, where it's basically just him on a pay-per-view, couldn't be happier for the man. I mean, his body of work has been awesome, and so there's really nothing more to say. So, Florio, what are your expectations for this Backlash pay-per-view?
The excitement level is definitely up there, no question about it. I mean, I could see this being a solid 8 out of 10. I really do. I mean, when you look at the body of work of the talent involved here, fight of the night, I think, no question, will be Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles for the world title, no doubt about it. Second best fight, I think it's going to be Randy Orton against Bray Wyatt. Third best fight, I would have to probably, by a smidge, give it to Miz and Ziggler, based on their promos and their body of work. And I'm looking forward to the women's match as well. I think that could be a pleasant surprise, especially with the elimination style match. That should be the fourth best fight of the night. The tag team matches, I'm not sure how those are going to work out. Usos and Hype Bros, I think that's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. And then the Usos against Slater and Rhino, that should be just okay as well. Honestly, I'm not really looking forward to seeing the tag title matches because I don't think either one of those matches are going to be anything special. But once the Usos and American Alphas start feuding over those tag belts, which they are going to, especially with No Mercy coming up, those matches are going to be fun, and I cannot wait. But I can honestly say one of those two tag team matches are going to be the worst fight of the night by default. So when I factor in everything else, I got to say we're looking at a solid 8 out of 10 when it comes to this Backlash event tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. And first SmackDown exclusive event with this brand new extension here. So good luck, SmackDown Live. Let's see what you can do. You better bring it, because in a couple of weeks, my show, Monday Night Raw, we're going to bring our A game in Indianapolis for the Clash of the Champions. Believe that. Mr. SmackDown, Mr. Good Ol' MF, how do you feel about tomorrow night's event? Are your hopes high or what?
Well, I'm going to say the bar is pretty low. I mean, the bar is definitely pretty low. I'm thinking at least 7 out of 10 going in. Normally, because it's not a deep show, there's not a lot of fights. Maybe there might be some filler along the way. So I don't think this is going to be a full 3-hour show, guys. I think this could be somewhere around 2.5 hours. I think that's what we're going to get. But with the body of work of everybody involved, maybe this would be a good show. I hope it is. I hope that it delivers on so many levels. I hope that the fans are going to be happy with the outcome. I hope it will work. It's just very optimistic. I think the key word is it's optimistic. We're hoping for the best, but we'll wait and see what happens. But I know one thing for sure: it's going to be a good show. 7 out of 10 is my prediction, and we'll leave it at that. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our preview. Tomorrow night, around this time at 11 p.m. Eastern, will be the recap of Backlash with myself, Anthony, Michael, and Didi, and we will recap everything that went down, what we liked, what we did not like, our overall reviews, and then programming reminder, Monday night, Raw on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com, and then come right back here on Tuesday night for another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, as we will talk and have the fallout from Backlash as we now head off to the next show, which will be No Mercy. Until then, for all of us here, have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and we are out. So long for now.